Ablazify presents Embracing and Learning from Failure in Innovation. How many times have you held back an idea because you were afraid it might fail? Maybe it was a business pitch, a bold project at work, or even a personal side hustle. We're taught to treat failure like a scarlet letter, something to be avoided at all costs. But here's the paradox. Failure is the very fuel of innovation. Every breakthrough you admire, from airplanes to smartphones to life-saving medicines, was born from experiments that failed, sometimes hundreds of times, before they succeeded. So if failure is inevitable, the real question isn't, how do I avoid it? But how do I use it? That's exactly what we'll unpack today. Welcome to Ablazify, the channel where we transform setbacks into stepping stones. If you're ready to rewire how you see failure and start leveraging it as a tool for creativity, innovation, and growth, you're in the right place. Let's explore 6 ways to embrace and learn from failure in innovation. 1. Redefine what failure really means. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the path that leads to it. Thomas Edison famously said, "I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." The point isn't how many times you fall. It's how quickly you learn why you fell and how you adapt. When failure becomes feedback instead of finality, it transforms into your most valuable teacher. 2. Build a culture where failure is safe. Innovation thrives only when people dare to experiment. If your team fears being blamed or shamed for mistakes, creativity will quietly die. Great leaders cultivate psychological safety, an environment where trying and learning are celebrated. Think of Google's Moonshot Factory, X, where teams are encouraged to kill projects early if they're not working. Why? Because ending something that's not viable is also progress. 3. Analyze failures like scientists. When something doesn't work, pause before reacting. Ask, what exactly went wrong? What went right? What did we learn? Scientists don't see failed experiments as disasters. They see them as data. Treat your projects the same way. Create a post-mortem process after every setback. Document insights. Discuss patterns. The goal is not to avoid pain, but to extract meaning from it.
Early in my career, I launched a product that flopped badly. I felt embarrassed and even thought about quitting. But my mentor told me, "You didn't fail. You found out what the market doesn't want. That's valuable." He encouraged me to analyze the feedback. We discovered customers loved one small feature, even though they rejected the rest. That insight became the foundation for our next launch, which succeeded. Looking back, the so-called failure was the tuition I paid for a valuable lesson.
4. Share failure stories openly. Most organizations love to celebrate success stories, but they rarely highlight the lessons learned from failure. By talking openly about what didn't work, you normalize the process and create a more courageous culture. Some companies even host failure forums, where employees share what went wrong and how it made them better. When leaders speak transparently about their own missteps, it sends a clear message. Failure is part of progress. 5. Take small, calculated risks. You don't have to gamble big to innovate. The best innovators experiment in small, manageable steps. Build a small prototype. Run a limited pilot. Gather quick feedback. These micro-failures teach faster than one massive, expensive mistake. This is the logic behind minimum viable products in startups. Testing ideas early, learning quickly, and adjusting before scaling. The result? Less fear, more agility, and smarter growth. 6. Celebrate resilience, not just results. Every time you or your team recover from a setback, celebrate that bounce back. It shows that perseverance matters as much as perfection. Resilience is the quiet strength that connects failure to innovation. It's what allows lessons to become breakthroughs. When leaders recognize the effort to rise again, they fuel confidence and courage across their teams.
As a software engineer, I used to obsess over avoiding mistakes. Every bug felt like a personal failure. But when I joined a company that had a culture of celebrating lessons from failure, my mindset changed. During one sprint, my code caused a crash in testing. Instead of blame, my manager asked me to present what went wrong and how we could prevent it. The experience was liberating. Not only did I grow technically, but the trust in our team skyrocketed. Now, when I lead junior engineers, I remind them mistakes aren't the end. They're the beginning of innovation.
Now picture a version of yourself where failure doesn't paralyze you. It energizes you. Where every setback is fuel for your next idea. where instead of being ashamed of mistakes, you mine them for insights that move you forward. Imagine leading a team where people aren't afraid to take risks because they know even failure moves them closer to the breakthrough. That's not a fantasy. It's what happens when you embrace failure as part of innovation. So here's your challenge. This week, reflect on one failure you've had, big or small. Write down 3 lessons it taught you and how you can apply them today. You'll be surprised at how quickly failure transforms from enemy to ally. If this message resonated with you, hit the like button, drop a comment, and share it with someone who's struggling with a recent setback. It may be exactly what they need to hear today. And if you want more insights on leadership, growth mindset, and personal development, subscribe to Ablazify and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.